welcome to the Pink Parley. It's your fine ass host, Molly, and welcome to the show. So, I've been telling y'all about the Pink Parley studio and how I'm setting that shit up at my house. And one of the first thing I ordered is, of course, a new sign, right? That hopefully a bitch can't run off with. I don't know why it seems like I'm having the worst of luck when it comes to buying these fucking signs for my show, you guys. But I've been waiting 3 weeks. I literally been thinking that this sign is being made and being shipped swiftly to my place so I can set this shit up and really get the show looking aesthetically nice, like, and having the guest stars, because I know that's something that you guys want more of. And yeah, they ended up refunding me for the fucking sign. So I don't even know what happened. I don't know if they weren't able to make it or just like what, but they just like refunded me for the whole thing. Irritating because they could have did that shit when I first ordered it, so I could just order another one instead of making me wait all this time just to not give me a sign at all. Like, but whatever. In other news, I did my second Valentine's Day shoot, which was amazing with my girl at Ava.nc. She is an amazing photographer. I love her work. And she's actually started her own photography business. And I'm so happy for her. The shots came out amazing as always when we work together. We're just like, we're together, magic just happens. But, I really thought like for this Valentine's Day shoot, I was really kind of wanting something a little freaky, a little steamy. So I was really hoping to have another girl with me. And, I was talking to like one of my exes. I haven't talked to her in like several years, right? And, we started talking and we've been, flirting with each other, being like, oh, okay. Basically, we've been making like Valentine's Day plans and trying to just rekindle whatever we lost, in the past. And so, I was like, fuck it, I'm doing the shoot, pull up. Like, I think we take some great photos. I wasn't charging her anything. I was paying for it all. I just wanted a couple shots with her, and I was even going to let her have a couple shots for herself if she wants, right? So cool. I, sent her the screenshot of the booking. It's very strict. It's a peer space thing. So it's from 6 to 8. It has tons and tons of rules and guidelines, no extra visitors. Also on the peer space thing, it says we'll have 3 attendees, me, the photographer, and her, right? So I send this out to her. She says, cool, everything's good. She says, knows what she's wearing. Perfect, right? She tells me she's on her way. Beautiful. So she pulls up and, I'm already like in the shoot doing my thing. The photographer opens the door, comes barging in. It's her. First of all, comes barging in is this little boy who's about 6 years old. I am butt naked, you guys, like literally in the middle of outfit changes. This boy has seen, like literally looked at me naked. I was so uncomfortable. I'm like, why? Like, and then I'm like thinking about all the rules. Like I never said it was going to be two additional people, let alone a young child that's very rambunctious, right? So I'm like, whoa, like y'all can get the fuck up out of here. Then she brings some other girl with her. I don't even know these people. Like, why did you bring them here to a Valentine's Day shoot? A young child to a Valentine's Day shoot? Like, so to me, and then it's funny, right? Because I told her she had to get the fuck out and we locked the door. So she comes back, banging, boom, 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 boom. Let me in, let me in. Like, I'm posing, I'm taking pictures. I have a 2 hour slot. Time is tight, okay? Like, I'm not about to stop my moment and what I got going on and the shit that I paid for to address the stupidity that you just did. Like, no, let me go back to my moment. And then I had to like, now my mind is fucked up because I'm mad as fuck and I really want to knock this bitch out. But I'm like, no, like this is my time to shoot. I'm not paying attention to none of that shit, right? I'll address her later. And then I still was like, you know what? Let me call her back. I'm done with my shots. If she wants to come on and we can do the girl shot and she can get a couple shots of herself, cool. She already then left. She didn't want to talk to me no more. Oh well, like I'm not moving on her time. Like I was about to stop what I was doing. And she feels that I should have stopped what I was doing to address that. And she still fails to understand. Like, bitch, did you not understand what the fuck you just did? Like, you weirdo. Like, that was weird. So yeah, on today's parlay, I just basically wanted to explain kind of like the differences between like my whole life and my regular life, right? Like I literally have a hoe mode. Like I'm either in hoe mode or I'm not in hoe mode. And I'll be explaining the differences in those two lifestyles because I think like sometimes certain things that a sex worker might say might get misconstrued or could just be really confusing to someone who does not understand a sex worker. So, roll up if you smoke, sip your drink if you drink, and if you gotta be sober, then just listen to this realness I'm finna give y'all, okay? Okay, guys, so basically, when I go to work, being a sex worker, and I get clocked in, basically what I consider my clock in time is the time I check into the room, which is usually around like 3 p.m., right? That's check-in time, right? So when I check in, I basically set up my business like any other businesses out here that opens up a store. Even though each business opens up their stores differently, the goal is the same, right? And it's just to basically for your customers' consumption so they can keep spending that money with you and so that, your customers can be satisfied, right? So when I set up, like my setup would be I'm gonna get different assorted size condoms. I'm gonna put them in my side table, get a little lube, put that out as well on my side table. I'm gonna get different massage oils out just for like body rubs and like massages that I do. I get baby wipes so when they're done, they could just clean themselves off. Fragrance free baby wipes too. Men are really particular about fragrances because most of these men cheat. So I try to make sure that the products that I do have aren't strongly fragrant so that if these are cheating men, they don't have to come home to their wives smelling like perfumes and stuff like that because that can get a cheating man caught up. So I do make sure like fragrance-free baby wipes. I keep soap so that you can wash your hands, mouthwash, if you want to wash your mouth out or whatever. You know, I you know, I keep those supplies on hand. And, my clients really appreciate that. And, increases my client satisfaction just having those small items available for them. It also makes my work easy. Everything's already laid out right there. And I'm ready to go and make money. Also, once I'm ready for work and I'm set up, my parents, right? So, like you guys will show up to work, fit for duty. That might be your uniform or whatever it is that you're wearing. Hair is done, you're clean, well groomed, right? Well, for my job, that part could be a little different because I know, like, in a normal job, typically your one outfit that you wear that day is like your whole outfit for your whole shift. For me, it's like imperative for any sex worker to have multiple different outfits. So, because I have multiple different clients. So, obviously, like lingerie is sexy. That's common. That's what most people like. But then it's also important to keep like different cosplay things, like a sexy schoolgirl outfit or something, fishnets, pantyhose. I've had men want me to just wear sweatpants. Like I literally that's common too. Like some men prefer you to just be in normal clothes. Like some men find that more hot. So I've had men like want me in sweatpants or like yoga pants, leggings, that type of thing. Definitely booty shorts is a favorite too. So a lot of these men would just request different things and it's best to kind of be prepared for whatever it is that you need to be wearing for that client. So obviously with being an escort, it's like extremely important to keep your maintenance up to par, right? So you want to have your hair done. You want to have your feet done, right? Because you have a lot of clients that come in and they have foot fetishes. That's a very, very common thing. So men are going to want to see nice, pretty toes. I think that's all men. Even if you're not a foot fetish guy, like what man doesn't like to see freshly pedicured toes? So, I always make sure my feet are done. Nails too, like that's just like icing on the cake because, obviously men are very visual. So the look of like nails while you're holding their penis, like men love that type of stuff. Yeah, the more presentable you look, I think the more clients really appreciate that and also will keep coming back to you. And then like when I'm with a client, like I'm very professional. I give the best customer service I possibly can give. I make them feel welcome. I greet them. Like so good at the customer service that I give to my clients that they leave me reviews. Like I got 5-star reviews, like crazy, just talking about like how amazing the experience was. And it's not even just sexual, you guys. You'll be amazed by like some of the reviews I have. Like a lot of them are just so genuine and sweet, and it's just about how I made them feel and just the overall vibe. And I'm just laid back and obviously I'm just nasty. My body's on point. They say just amazing things about me, and I love my clients for that. The reviews are so respectful, and I appreciate them for having that respect for me. Sometimes, even though clients are satisfied, in rare cases, I do get clients that are a little confused, or I have a very different process, and I'm very strategic with how I do things. And sometimes things can get misunderstood, and sometimes clients can get a little frustrated. I will try my best to try to clarify anything and resolve those issues, right? So that, and there's been a few times too where I had a client that was very uneasy or unsure, and I was able to make that client feel relaxed enough to come see me and make them happy, and they're happy repeat customers now, right? So I've resolved issues as well. And yeah, to me, giving good customer service is everything in my profession. And I think that's ultimately how I keep my regulars. And I've had regulars and some regulars for as long as seen me for several years consistently. Even when I wasn't consistent, even when I decided I was going to go off to the oil refinery and or be in a relationship in my years of sex work, they still stuck with me. When I came back to it, they were right there waiting on me. So I think like just the whole like having good customer service is top tier. A lot of sex workers are out here. They probably never had a job before. They don't understand the process of even giving good customer service and how important it is to any business. So I think, a lot of clients complain about how shitty they're treated by a lot of sex workers. A lot of sex workers have like really fucked up attitudes. So like I kind of put myself in a top tier box just by being kind, polite, and having good customer service. So if you're out there and you are a sex worker and you have a stank attitude, fix your attitude, bitch, because you're probably fucking up your bag. Okay? Yeah, so when I clock out, that's usually checkout time. When I'm clocked out, my looks might change. Like I might not be dolled up. I'm definitely not gonna be wearing anything sexy. More than likely, I'm in something comfortable. It might be some sweatpants. I might not have no makeup on, or I might have a little bit of makeup on, depending if I'm going somewhere. And basically how I dress and what I wear is my choice. It's not someone's request or it's not to try to impress someone or just to look extra sexy. Like, no, I just want to be comfortable. I want to chill. I want to relax. And I wear what I wear. And yeah, like also too, like when I'm clocked out, like I don't give a fuck about no customer service. So yeah, like when a man talks to me outside of work and they approach me, I might not be that nice. If you having an issue with me and my attitude, I'm not trying to resolve anything with you, bro. Like, you can get the fuck out my face, and that's how I am. Like, no, you can't have my number. No, I'm not going to talk to you. No, I'm not going to date you. Fuck no. Fuck out of here. Like, that's my vibe in the real life world when men talk to me when I'm not on the clock because I'm not interested, right? It's funny because it's like, even when I'm in public places and things like that and I'm doing normal shopping things, I see a trick somewhere everywhere I go. Like there's a possible trick every fucking where, right? And I've had moments where like I've literally had people, they didn't even know it was a hoe. Like I wasn't even dressed like a hoe. Like, so that's why sometimes like when guys approach me that way, it's so like, whoa. Cause like I can see I was dressed really raunchy, but no, like I was fully dressed and covered. Definitely wasn't looking like anything of that, right? And I walk into a smoke shop, buy me some damn blunts. And this is young guy. He has to be in his young 20s. He might have been 18, 19, y'all. He was young. And he was going to basically say to me, because he's like, hey, you cute. Like, can I get your number? I'm already like, nah. Like, I say my typical line. Like, I say every dude, because I get asked for a number all the time. I'm like, nah, I don't like nobody having my number. I'm not interested. I'm busy. I don't got time to entertain nobody. So he's like, well, let me pay you. I was like, I said, excuse me? Like, you feel me? Like, did he just say that? Like, that's what's going through my head. Because it literally took me huh? And then I was like conflicted because I was like, do I take him up on the offer? Because like, this is what I do. But I don't turn down no money now. But also too, like, he was young. He was dusty too at that. Like, I knew whatever he was offering me was not much anyways. And probably was way beneath me. But, so I turned him down. But it was just like, damn, but I guess if it was a different situation, if I was in Hoe Mode, like, it would be different. So me having these two different lifestyles, this whole life, this regular life, it's caused me to not even have a normal life, especially not a normal dating life, right? So, yeah, when I'm off the clock, I just don't have interest in men. I deal with men all day for work. So I think the last thing I'm trying to do on my time off is deal with men. Like, if anything, I'm trying to do my errands and try to do everything I can't do while I'm at work, because I know I have to get right back to work again, right? And deal with these men. And of course, like, I even see guys that are attractive. Like, of course, like, there's, attraction is normal. We all are attracted to someone out here, right? So I can see a guy and be like, oh, he's so fine. Like, I want to talk to him. But it's like, it's almost becomes just a fantasy in my mind, because it's like, I know that this is not going to get anywhere realistically. I know if I tell this guy, like, I'm a hoe, he's more than likely, like 98% of the guys are just going to run off, right? And be like, nah, like, I'm cool. So, it kind of really, and I'm very creative mentally, obviously, as y'all can see, it's really opened up my mind to kind of like just have fun with these like fantasies, because that's really all I have. Like, I know it's not going to go anything further than that, right? So, but it's fun to kind of like play around in my mind and just fantasize if I was to like fuck this guy or something, like, how would that go? But yeah, it's just like, I know like I could never really approach a guy, even if I'm attracted to him, because of what I do. Like, I know if I explain this to him, he's gonna do one or two things. He's either not gonna fuck with me or he's gonna want some money out of me. He's gonna want to pimp me. I'm not with either one of those, especially not right now in my life, right? It's crazy, right? Because like you would think that men would be turned off from me and not want to fuck because I'm dirty, right? Because society has this dirty stigma on sex workers. I don't think I've had any man say that he did not want to fuck me because he thought I was dirty. In most cases, though, like I have men that want to fuck me, they just don't want to pay. And I'm like, I'm serious. I'm like this with it. I'm like, like I don't have time to play. So, I have guys be like, yeah, like I'll give you some free dick. And it don't work for me. They don't go nowhere. It's a waste of time. So yeah, obviously me living my life like this for a very long time now, at least a good probably several years. Yeah, it caused my dating pool to just dry the fuck up. Like I don't even have men texting me good morning no more on my regular phone. Like that's how dry shit is in my dating life. And I've really had to avoid the natural attraction sex. Like even though it's there and I see guys that are attractive all the time and I want to fuck them, I have to avoid that because it's such a thin line between being a hoe and then being a slut. And it can get really addictive to get too much involved into the attractive sex. Like, okay, let's say if I am fucking with this guy and I'm really attracted to him and then the sex is good too. I'm going to be thinking about this guy all the time. I'm going to want to spend time with this guy. I'm going to be sidetracked from my program and me actually getting the money and the important sex that I really need to be having. So since I know that it can distract me from the money, I avoid all natural attraction sex. And a lot of girls out here are doing this type of shit. They're fucking with niggas that they want to fuck with, or they got several different niggas they fuck with for free, but they're hoes. I can promise you and probably assure you those are the hoes that are struggling right now. Those are the hoes that probably never get too far in their hoeing career. Those are probably the hoes that need pimps. And honestly though, like there's so many men that want to fuck me. Like every dude wants to fuck me, but just fuck me though. Like there's very few men that actually want to like be with me for real, marry me, have babies with me and all that other shit, right? Literally everywhere I go, there's men just like attacking me because they all just want to fuck because they see my ass, they see my face, they see whatever, right? That just makes them attracted to me. And it's overwhelming. It's a lot. Like I can't satisfy all these men that want me. So it makes my life kind of less stressful because I'll just be like, all right, I'll put this hand up and that eliminates at least a good over half of them. So now I ain't got to worry about none of them. Now I could put more attention into the generous men that come and pay me. But I will say that doing this for so long, it does create loneliness. Like underlying loneliness though. Like I'm not just sad and lonely every day. No. Like it'll be situations like, let's say I'm sick with the flu and I'm like dying sick. And I just wish I had a man that just loved me and could just take care of me while I'm sick and, give me like medicine and just treat me like a little baby. Like them really be the times, or if I go to the hospital or I'm like, like I'll be wishing I could have someone there that could just help me in those needy times in my life, right? Where I'm just sick and weak and frail and like that would be like, and even though my clients would help me in those times, most definitely, it's still like they couldn't resist the urge to fuck me. They're still gonna want to fuck me. Guaranteed. So, yeah, I think in those times I do get like lonely and I'm like, oh, like I wish I had like a boyfriend or husband that would be here taking care of me right now. But other than that though, like I'm cool with how I have my life, honestly. Like it's working for me, y'all. Like that's all that matters. It makes me happy. It's working for me. I'm content. I think too, it's like also that realization of, love don't pay the bills. Like I've been in love before and I've been broke. I've been in love before and I was had my money getting taken by the dude. Like, I've been in some really crazy situations and love wise. So for me, like, and what I've been through and just going through poverty and being homeless, like I always have these flashbacks and it makes me just focus on my bag so much more because it's like I'm determined to never in my life go back to those days, like, and I think, yeah, that's why I grind so hard. And those flashbacks, if you ever been through the mud, I'm talking about out here with nothing. Like if you ever been out here like that, it's the worst feeling in your life. And if you grinded to get your ass up out of that, like I promise you, it's going to be those times where you remember when you had nothing that you're going to be like, fuck that. Like it ain't no turning back to that. Like, so you're going to try to make a way and to never ever go back to that situation again, it's a place where once you get out of that spot, like, you are not really trying to go back, right? So yeah, being a sex worker and having a lot of clients and stuff like that, there are some times where I have body aches or even my vagina is sore. And even though like a sore vagina for me typically means like I made a bag, like I ran it the fuck up for real, it's still like, sometimes clients could be like rough with me and sometimes I'm sore too. And I feel like clients, they might just see porn a lot and they're just doing what they want to do or what they think I might want, or maybe they just love the way my ass just looks bouncing when they dig. I ain't gonna lie, I have a nice ass, right? But a lot of that shit don't be feeling good to me. And sometimes I do be missing like that like intimacy of just a man who's been fucking me every day for a long period of time, like, and only fucking me. So it's like he knows this pussy right here. Like, I miss that. I do. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I haven't had a man know this pussy for real in several years since my last relationship. Yeah, so even like when I'm in pain and stuff like that, like I'm still expected to work, right? And that's whether I'm enjoying myself, whether I'm in excruciating pain or just irritated by the bad stroke game of some clients, I have to Like, I have to do my job and what's expected of me, right? So I just thug it out, whatever mood I'm feeling, right? Yeah, sometimes they are too rough. Sometimes I do be like, I wish they did know my body more. I wish a man did know my pussy and how I wanted to be pleased. And, for a client to do that, they would have to be laid up with this pussy every motherfucking day. And a lot of clients, even though they would love that, realistically, they more than likely can't afford that. So, yeah, like, no one's really gotten to know this pussy in so long. So, I just have like occasional flashbacks, like literally the thoughts of my ex, like fucking me, like how intertwined we were together. The way he just knew my body, like the way he knew how to please me. He knew how I liked my pussy ate. He knew which stroke made me come. That type of sex, like just looking into each other's eyes and just being so like aroused and turned on, like by each other, like that type of sex, like making love type of sex, I do miss. And I do hope I have it one day. So yeah, I do miss that type of sex a lot. And and you would think like in my field that I wouldn't be horny. But actually, I be horny a lot, you guys. In fact, a lot of sex workers do be horny. And I know like a lot of people are like, what the fuck? Like, how is a sex worker horny? Like, catch a date if you're horny, right? Like, y'all probably wondering like, how the fuck can a sex worker be horny if she just fucked a whole bunch of different guys? So yeah, how would a sex worker possibly be horny in this line of work? I feel like when a sex worker says that she's horny, I think it's more like she's horny for the man she really desires and wants, the man that she's attracted to, the man that she loves or has that connection with, right? And that type of sex, like what I just talked about, the spiritual sex and shit, like that type of sex is completely different. And that is something that anyone is horny for. Shit, I'm horny for it right now. What? I would love a man that would just come in my life and fucking love me and fucking fuck this pussy real good and make me come a million times. Like, I deserve that. So hopefully coming soon in my life. But yeah. So yeah, and then just to compare contrast, like in Hoe Mode, yes, of course I fuck, whether I'm in the mood or not. It doesn't mean I'm horny. Just because I'm clocked into work and I'm fucking does not mean that I'm horny. Okay? Now, I'm personally just a horny person. So typically I am kind of horny. But in most cases, like, I've been sad, I've been depressed, I've been mad. Like, there's been a lot of times where I have not been horny and I've still performed well for my client with absolutely no horniness, right? Yeah, but when I'm not in Hoe Mode, and if it is some sex that I want to have, like, it's definitely going to be the man that I'm attracted to, that I want to fuck. This is the man that I'm just nasty with, right? Like, this is the man that I'm truly attracted to. I truly know. I know his friends and family. He might know my friends and family or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we know each other, right? And this is the man that I want all of. I want his nut. I want him to pee on me. I want to lick his ass. Like, I want to do, like, this man, like, I want to be as nasty as possible to this man because why? Because I'm just so attracted to him and into him. It's just a different want and for this man, right? That I don't have, by the way. But just saying, if I did have them, right? And with the clients, it's not like I desire them in that way. I fucks with my clients. I adore them all, but it's just a different want for them in a sense. So even though I respect them, even some I love their sex, it's still just it's in reality it's that we live in a different world that's separate from everything else, but in reality, like, we're not in the real world together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're literally on this hush hush little like little world together that no one knows about. Like, so it's like I don't know your family, your friends. I don't really know shit about you, you know? Like, even if I feel like I know you from this when you come see me, it's still like I don't know you for real. Like, you probably would never take me home to your parents. You know what I mean? So it's just a different thing for real, like completely different, you guys. Although I do have sex and I'm not always sexually satisfied. Most clients, most men, fuck clients, most men can't even please you, girl, or make me come. So I would say good 99% of men cannot make me come. So a lot of times I do masturbate and stuff like that because I'm still hardy. Like, I'm browned up, you know? But also, too, I think that me not coming and me always like, you know, being horny or not being sexually satisfied just adds fuel to like my fire as a sex worker, because if I was just getting sexually satisfied with each client, I'll be tired in bed, drained, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be a whole different vibe. So I definitely think that me constantly being horny or just like not sexually satisfied does keep me in the mood to keep on going and keep being willing to have sex. So yeah, obviously as a sex worker, I have sex, right? But there has been times in my life as a sex worker, I have literally said the words, I ain't had sex in a long time. And I meant that. You could literally put me on the lie detector test right now. If you ask me, and see, you can, yeah, it depends on how you ask the question. If you ask me, have you had sex? Like, when was the last time you had sex? I might have been like 6 months or something, several months. Like, what type of sex are you talking about, right? Like, you not specifying, because if you talking about work, okay, that's a different type of sex. If you talking about more real life sex, I ain't had sex in a long ass time, and I'll be dead ass serious, and I promise you I'll pass that with flying colors if I was wrapped up to a lie detector test. What? I would pass. And I think a lot of sex workers pass too, because it's literally that different to us. Like, we literally consider our sex and our sex work so much different than our sex in real life. Yeah, and even like, let's say I've had relationships before where I've dated a guy, they knew I was a sex worker and they were cool with it or whatever. And some might find it surprising, but a sex worker does not consider having sex with a man for compensation as cheating. It's not cheating to the sex worker until she actually fucks a man for free and ties feelings to it as well. That's when it becomes cheating to the sex worker. But, yeah, just kind of compare and contrast like how different the sex is in both worlds, because it's just two different things. And then also too, like, I'm strong and independent, right? I had to be, because shit, it was nobody else gonna take care of me. So, I say that all the time. Like, I don't need a man for nothing. I pay everything on my own. But do I really though? Don't I need tons of men to get the things that I want in life? Yeah, like, actually I kind of do, right? I do. And I appreciate every man that contributes to every little portion of my life. I do. But I still consider that as my career choice that I chose to do. And it wasn't an easy career choice to do. I have dealt with all the consequences from it, negative and positive. I've dealt with all the disrespect from people, dealing with isolation from people just being like, every room I go into, people are just like, oh, she's a hoe. People always whisper like, oh, she's a hoe, she's a hoe, for all those people that know. So it really just put me like in a box for a long time. And sometimes in a way it kind of sucks, but I just don't give a fuck. But if I really want to think about that, like, oh, that kind of sucks, like, I've given up everything for this life. And, the least thing I can say in return of all of this and all the shit that I go through in this is that I have the money to at least live strong and independently, right? Now, I've had arrangements where I've had men pay my rent and bills, and those situations and arrangements are so beautiful. I miss that. Those situations haven't been coming to me as of lately, for real. And times are just different right now. But in typical times, like, those type of situations were always a thing. And I love those type of situations, honestly, because as you know, California rent is so fucking high, like more than mortgages and shit. So yeah, but other than that, like, I pay my own rent and bills. It's my choice to get up and work. I don't go out and party and have fun. I'm like, no, I need to make money so I can pay my bills and my rent and do everything else that I need to do in my life. Invest in my Pink Parley shit. So yeah, as a sex worker, it is important to understand that our dating life can differ from our work life. It is essential for us as sex workers to have different modes when it comes to dating, as it allows us to balance and maintain our personal and professional lives. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this realness. I'll catch y'all on the next parlay.